Hello, everybody. Please, Charbel, talk about
Okay,
the.
okay. Yeah, this was funny. A great beginning, great beginning. Here we are, yeah, we MNF, where the masses meet the nerds and the freaks. And you see we are in a very good mood today. So Chico is hosting today. What song you bring us?
Time Alan Parsons Project songs.
Time, Alan Parsons Project. Yeah. That this music great brings great memories, yeah. Great memories.
Um, Bring memories about our teenager
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We were
Uh,
young.
But even today, when I listen to music, I feel some kind of nostalgic feeling.
It's a very
Even,
nostalgic song, yeah.
but in 81, when the song was released, we heard the song in Salvador. I live back then in Salvador.
Where I
You
live,
live
where I live.
where you live today since then. But even then, that song, this song, I don't know why has the power to um make me feel nostalgic. I don't know why.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe
In-
because the lyrics is kind of nostalgic.
the lyrics are very nostalgic, and again, the melodic line too, yeah.
Mhm.
So, in fact, in the last musical session we did with our friends, you said something very interesting. You said that English doesn't have a word correspond to saudade, which is
Yes,
a Portuguese word, and you said that this music shows that the feeling of saudade is there, even if the word isn't there.
what I said was that in English, the language in English don't have the word, the
The
this
corresponding word. Yeah,
the corresponding word for saudade, but they have the feeling. They
yeah.
they
Yeah.
know what they know what it is, but they just don't have a name for it. What is very strange because they have too many words for each
No,
thing in
yeah,
the.
but in fact, it's not strange. In fact, it's something I do research on. It's a thing of intercultural translation. So we know that intercultural translation is always indeterminate. There is indeterminacy in translation. So because the categorical schemes of different language, they do not match in a one per one basis, a biunivocal basis. And so what happens is that in Portuguese we have nostalgia and we have saudade. And saudade is a bit
As
different from nostalgia. And in English, you have nostalgia, and you don't have a second word that looks like nostalgia. Or at least we don't know. Because English is a very complex language because they have several layers of words. You have the words who are coming from the original inhabitants of the English Isles. Then they have been conquered by the Romans, and so we have a layer of Latin, of words that came from Latin language. Then they have been invaded by the Vikings. So they have a layer of words that came from the Vikings. So it's a very complex language. So it might be that there are more words that we are not aware of, but we
and
are
there
quoting
is
something. Yeah, yeah.
and there is a layer from German for
Oh,
German
yeah,
too.
yeah, surely, surely. There's a layer for German too. And in fact, what we are talking, I never read anything about that. This thing that they don't have a word for saudade, and so we have two words, nostalgia and saudade, and they don't have. I never heard anything like serious research about that. So I always read some popular pieces about it. So maybe if we dig further,
Yes,
we might
but
we might see that the situation is more complex.
one thing we can affirm that in English, for each thing, they have many ways to call it.
Yeah, yeah.
And this feeling, they don't have so much.
Yeah.
This is for sure.
But it shows something very interesting that is possible. to have feelings or to face events or entities, even if you don't name them. That's interesting. That's interesting. So, for instance, in some knowledge systems, in their taxonomy, there are plants and animals that don't receive a name. It is not because they don't recognize or give importance to the animal or plant. It's because there is a taboo. So you don't even give a name. So the holders of the knowledge system know exactly, I individuate exactly that plant or animal species that we recognize in some other taxonomy, like the academic taxonomy, but there is no name. And so usually people would say, well, if a group of humans don't name something, they might not have any knowledge about it. So in this case, is the contrary. They have a wealth of knowledge about it, which is the reason why they don't name it, because of a
Uh,
taboo.
this kind of beauty, this because um it's beautiful. Sorry, not beautiful. Just because um, when you name something, you in certain way you are reducing the possibilities of the
Oh
meaning
yeah, yeah, for sure,
of
for sure.
the object,
Yeah,
and it's perfect that this kind of feeling you decide
yeah.
not name it. I
Yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
it's
It's true. Because naming is categorizing, so you get several singular entities or events or feelings. Then you focus on a set of properties and use those properties to generalize across the several instances of the feeling, event, or entity. And this means that you are focused on a more limited range of properties. And so you are completely right. So you are focusing your attention on some properties, and by doing that, you may lose some of the symbolic richness that you could have from the experience. So it's a very interesting thing. But we are talking a lot of philosophy. I think we should go to the music,
the
and
music.
I'll share from the official channel of the Alan Parsons
But it's
project.
perfect because this song it's about that feeling we are discussing.
Exactly, exactly,
It's
exactly. We
it's
are not talking, we are not just talking bullshit.
you will we
Yeah,
today we
yeah.
were not talking about bass, keyboards, drummer.
Yeah, we are
It's
talking
it's
something
about the
different.
today is about the feeling.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Because that would be is a well played song for sure. But what's most amazing is the melodic line, the composition,
Position.
and the lyrics. So let's go for Alan Parsons Project time.
Flowing like a river,
That's wonderful, isn't it? That's wonderful. We were not about to talk about the instrumentation is great, yeah. I don't know if
Yes,
I'm paying
it's
more
well,
attention
it's
because we have
well
to talk about
played,
it. It is well played. The
but
bass line is quite beautiful.
yes, but because the composition and the harmony is great. Uh, this
Yeah,
this
yeah,
not about performance. Alan
yeah.
Parsons is was a, a producer.
He's a great producer and engineer. He plays
Yeah,
too, yeah. He's playing the keyboards and
so everything is
this song is one of the few songs in Alan Parsons projects in which he sings too.
yes, but what I'm trying to say is that he as producer everything is the right place in the song.
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah,
drum, the bass, the
yeah,
bass
yeah,
line is so well put in the right place, you
yeah,
know,
yeah, 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 yeah,
in relation to harmony. So
yeah.
everything has the right effect that
Exactly,
contributes
exactly.
for the feeling
Yeah.
that song. But it just in terms of performance, it's okay. It's not any well trained studio musician
We'll
can
do
do
that.
what
We'll do that. Yeah.
can do
But
what
you know,
this musician.
great session musicians, they are amazing players. And sometimes
Yes,
we don't even know their names because you know the Alan Parsons project since the first recording was I think was 1795. It's a great album, Tales of Mystery and Imagination, the first album by Alan Parsons. So what he did is he was a great producer, great recording engineer. I think he's also a recording engineer. He was there in the recording of
go back, go
Of
back,
Let It Be, and
and
Abbey
go
Road.
back.
Yeah,
Yes, and
yeah.
the documentary Go Back,
Yeah, Get Back.
Get
He
Back,
appears.
Get Back,
Get Back. He appears.
Get Back.
Yeah,
Yes.
and what he did was he got a fantastic group of session musicians, and he made Alan Parsons project from that. And then it's very well played. But I think it's a very coherent arrangement that really adds to the music. So you get the orchestra. The orchestra is absolutely fundamental. The orchestra instruments is not a full orchestra, but the strings they are fundamental to the feeling of the song. And this is
Yes,
the first.
because contributes to the part that something is going to the sea, and
Yeah, yeah, expensive.
it
It is
it's
very expensive.
open your mind to
Yeah,
the
yeah, 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 yeah.
right feeling that something was lost forever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This
That is
is
part of the song where he sings to the sea is very expensive, and I think the reason why I'm not a musician, so I don't know so much about music. So about music I know, but not about the technical details. I may be saying something foolish, and you can correct me. It's the reason why it's so expensive is both the strings and the fact that it takes a while to resolve. Yeah, it takes a while to resolve. Then you float with with the feeling, and then it resolves with the next note.
everything is working so well to translate the feeling.
Yeah, yeah.
It's perfect. Recently, a friend of mine lost his brother. They died, and she is married with my a friend of mine that play with me in a band, and she posts a video with images and videos from
Of her brother.
from from her her brother that died, and she put in the back this song.
Oh,
Was very
heartbreaking, yeah.
emotional. Yes,
Heartbreaking,
yes, yes.
heartbreaking.
Was
Yeah,
crazily
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah, yeah. One thing that the singer is an amazing singer. So that's Eric Ulfson. So it's the first album from Alan Parsons Project that he's the lead singer. Is the turn of a friendly card. While you have time. Well, let's move back a bit to get the feeling and then try to finish the song. So we interrupt only once. Let's go.
Goodbye, my friend. Maybe for forever. Goodbye, my friend. The stars wait for me. Who knows where we shall meet again? If ever. But time keeps flowing like a river to the sea, to the sea, to the sky.
Forevermore.
The turn of a friendly card.
Yeah.
It's nice. It is.
And this cover is an amazing cover, yeah. It's very beautiful. You see the
Yes,
light effects, very well
it's
painted, yeah.
it's like a window in a Gothic church.
Exactly. With the card of the king. And I like how the light penetrates. It's really beautiful. Okay, so that was Time. Time was very successful. Yeah, we were reading that in Brazil was in 1981. I think the recording is from 1980, but the single is from 1981. So 1981 was the 20th most played song in Brazil. And in the Billboard, it reached to the 15th place. It was a very successful song, perhaps the most successful in their career, even though they had a number of hits, the Alan Parsons Project.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's it's I don't know how many albums they made after that. Uh, I really don't know
Me,
much of
me,
his
me neither.
discography. Yeah. No, they made several albums. So that was their fifth album. And they made six more after that. In fact, they made one in 2014 that I don't know. It's called the Sicilian Defense. I know that discography up to Gaudi, which was I think was his last album from 1987, but they came back. So now I have some homework to do to listen to the Sicilian Defense by Alan Parsons. I hope I'm not going for some disappointment, but We should see.
The strings in the song is very subtle.
Yeah,
It's not
they're very
it's not
subtle.
so it's not so much.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, 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 yeah. And I think they're effective also because they're very subtle. So here is something. We always classify the tracks into our playlists, and I think I will put time in two playlists: progressive rock and pop music, because it is both, yeah. And
this is what. Mm, mm.
one thing that is fantastic is the use of synthesizers. It's very
Yes,
good.
this what I will ask you about that. If these strings is in fact an orchestra or it is a synthesizer.
No, in the album, you have the participation of the Philharmonia Orchestra. I'm
Um,
reading here. And the arrangements and conduction of the orchestra is by a guy who recorded several albums, particularly with progressive bands, called Andrew Powell. So it is truly an orchestra, but there is also the synthesizer.
So today it will be a short episode because
Yeah.
we can talk about 1 hour just with what capable to talk about feelings because it's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
about
yeah,
feelings.
yeah, exactly, exactly. But it was great to bring time. Uh, we can tell our followers that originally uh, Chico brought to play today frame by frame by King Crimson.
So
But immediately when he said to me, "Oh, we'll play that," I said, "Oh, that's hard because Robert Fripp doesn't allow anybody to do anything, commenting or reacting to his song." Well, at least I only am saying that because I follow and watch several reaction channels, and people are always complaining that they try to do things with King Crimson and they never can do it.
it's a pity
So.
because we would be it would be great if we
Yeah,
could
yeah. Oh,
not we specifically, but all community that
community, yeah, yeah, sure. King,
like to talk about music.
oh, King
It's a lot.
Crimson, King Crimson has such a huge set of fans. It is a founding
Yes,
band from progressive rock. It is a band that reinvented itself in the 80s. It's a very influential band, and I think it doesn't make much sense because if we just played Alan Parsons Project, so this means that we are perhaps presenting Alan Parsons for some people who doesn't know. So it is a way of publicizing your music. If we are not monetizing with the channel, but if someone was to monetize, then the all the money that is made is divided to the owner with the owner of the rights, the property rights of the song. So it doesn't make much sense, I think. It's not like someone's making a plagium. We are commenting and react, so we are creating new content. And this new content is publicizing the art of someone that we deeply respect. So it doesn't make much sense, I think. But everyone knows about how want to handle life and decisions and so forth. It
and
is.
don't make sense because a simple reason. If you wanna hear that music frame by frame, you just hear for free in YouTube.
Yeah, we recommend you here frame by frame. It's a great song.
Yes, that's you can hear for free. Why you can hear for free as we
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about?
Doesn't make much
Doesn't
sense.
make
Yeah.
any sense.
No, no.
But
I think it would make sense if someone would play the song of someone else, and then you monetize, and this person doesn't get anything. Then
okay,
that would be a
but
problem. But this doesn't happen because
uh,
the rules by YouTube is that if you
well,
ever monetize, there will be a percentage I don't know how much because we are not really planning to monetize, so
Okay,
we
but
didn't look so much
you
about it.
have to be very clear for everyone. We are not make money.
Yeah, we are making fun.
Yes,
Even though making money is not bad and can be fun too, but we are not making real money. We are making money
boys
somewhere
boys wanna get fun.
else. Boys wanna get fun. Okay, okay, but that was a great episode. But then Chico was a little in doubt about playing time, and I talked him through doing that because well, it's basically about feelings. Yeah, feelings are nice. Yeah, because we are always talking that if we play something that's like some prog tracks we play, there are so many changes in mood and so much playability, and the musicians are doing incredible things. Then you have a lot to say about that. And in time,
Yeah,
what you have to say is what we said. It's a great
not
composition, great
too
lyrics.
many layers to
Yeah,
talk about.
but but
And
but uh, but that's exactly
uh,
but
even
that's
that
exactly why the
layers
yeah. But that's exactly why the track is so great. Yeah, because you keep it simple, then you have the song is dominated by the melody, the nostalgic feeling. If there was a guitar solo in the middle, it would completely break the mood. So that was on purpose. Let's do these tracks so that it is the voice and the lyrics and all the other things are just creating the atmosphere. So the reason why we're not talking about changing moods and a lot of instrumentation, that's an important reason why this recording is so fantastic.
is really
Many times less is
is
more.
really is
Not many
my
times.
English.
Sometimes less is more. I think this is one of these cases.
Less is more in many cases. In Ray
No,
Cooder's songs,
I'm a fan of
I love
progressive
Ray
rock.
Cooder.
I'm a
Me
fan of
too.
progressive rock. Progressive rock fans can't say that always less is more or many times less is more because progressive rock is usually about more and more and more.
Pink Floyd, I think it is simple. They
But Pink Floyd is
they
not
keep
progressive rock.
they keep simple. I
You
For
know,
me,
I have a very strict concept of progressive rock. I think Pink Floyd is a is a great psychedelic band that got some elements of progressive rock.
was a lot in the beginning, but after I don't know. I think Wish You Were Here, não é psychedelic. It's
Yeah,
a
but it's not also progressive. I think it's something else. Yeah.
uh,
But
but
all this is bullshit because classifying music is very complicated. So I'm always following and reading the Prog Archives. It's a great website for people who want to know more about
ah,
progressive music. And Prog
this
Archives has
song
some categories.
Time is progressive rock.
Yeah,
This is a
yeah,
good question.
yeah. It
This
is.
is a good.
That's what I was about to say. I don't know how time is
It,
classified in the Prog Archive, but Prog Archives has some categories that are exactly because it's so hard to classify. Then they have something called eclectic prog and something called crossover prog. Yeah, it is prog, but it's mixing up with so many things. And I think Alan Parsons, since the beginning, was pop and prog at the same time. Yeah, like Supertramp. We played Supertramp. Supertramp is prog and pop at the same time. But I
I
know
think some,
classification is bullshit.
but I think some albums, Pink Floyd albums, is kind
It's
of prog.
closer. Yeah, I
I've
agree. Yeah,
Animals, I think, is so prog rock. Like,
yeah,
it's a kind
yeah.
of trip.
Yeah.
It's not a psychedelic trip.
Yeah,
It's
you have
rock.
fundamentally the triad of albums in the seventh Dark Side, Wish You Were Here, and Animals. Yeah, there. What was the height of
The,
progressive rock? So there were. Yeah,
yes.
but if you look at most of the albums
In the
after,
be in the beginning, it's very psychedelic
yeah,
rock. I love it. Obscure
very
My
good,
Clothes.
beautiful album.
I get the soundtrack of the film more is
More. Yeah,
very
we need to play tracks
very
from those.
is very
But
psychedelic.
okay,
Is
I
great.
think we are sailing without direction. So I think it's time to finish this episode. Thank you very much, you all, for following us. For as we said, we are not making money, but we are making fun. We hope you are having fun too. So that's WMNF. See you in the next episode. Bye bye.
This will be in our logo.
Great.
We are not make money.
Bye.
We are make fun. Bye,
Yeah,
guys.
that's a good. That's all, folks.